So there you have it. All the side art is off, both sides. You don't worry about the gouges here because obviously it'll be sanded down nice and smooth. And all this stuff will be filled in, these holes and these holes and these holes. And this corner here, I took the corner protectors off and this is completely missing, so that'll have to be filled in. This is all damaged along here, it's got to be filled in. Someone already did some bondo work on this corner, so I can clean that up and fix that. On the other side down here is all kind of messed up, but it's nothing I can't take care of. It's just going to take a lot of time and effort and TLC. Pull all this old T-molding off here. And they got this piece here screwed in from the side, so I'll have to countersink these, take the screws out, countersink, and then fill these holes over too. So, but anyway, shouldn't be too hard. There we go. So, let's see here. I will stand this back up. Well, actually, I need to do the bondo work on this side, turn it around, do the bondo work on the other side, let the bondo dry, and then I'll sand the whole thing down completely and get it all done, and then prep it for paint. So that'll be the next step here momentarily. Alright, bondo applied to one side. I got this corner here built up. Once it gets sanded down, it'll be nice and flush, and I'll make it round with the sander, and everything should work out perfect for this corner. I'm not really too worried about this because there's not actually any wood missing. It's just artwork that's been pulled off. Well, there's actually no artwork anywhere on here. They peeled the artwork off and painted the side black, but this should be taken care of when I do the sanding. This corner here is okay, just needs sanded pretty good. So this side is done. I'm going to wait for this to fully dry and then turn it over and do the other side, which you'll see here in one moment. Alright, so I got the cabinet flipped around here to the other side, and I haven't started yet with any bondo filling because on this side, since this corner is so badly damaged, I put some kind of templates here with some cardboard and just tacked them in with a couple of threads of some screws. You can see here, and it creates a flat plane where I can fill this area with bondo. And it will allow me to get the complete area all the way full and stacked, so when I end up sanding it, it ends up being complete and not like leaning more towards one side, leaning the other, and it's not falling. And this will hold it all in place while it dries and also allow it to build up properly. So I'm going to get this filled, and these are here to kind of help with it to stay where it's at and to get it filled properly so I can sand it down to where it ends up being about perfect. So I'm also going to use the same template for right here as well. So this should turn out pretty good once I get this done. So I'll get some more bondo mixed up, and we'll get this whole side done here. So 1 second. Alright, so everything on this side is now dry. I turned the cabinet over and touched up the other side and did everything on that side that needs done. And it is fully dry, so I flipped it back over to this side to start with this side because of the massive corner here. It may look kind of wavy, but trust me, it's flat when you look at it from the side, and it should sand down and make a nice, perfect corner and look good. I also forgot to mention that the front had some lockdown bar holes, so I filled those holes, took the coin doors out, and I'll clean those up later. But for now, I'm going to start sanding. When this side's complete, I'll flip it over to the other side, and then I'm actually do some painting. So stay right with me here, and you'll see how it turns out. Okay, so there's one side done. I could take some time and go all the way down to the actual wood, but it's not really, doesn't need to be done because it's smooth as it is right now. And with the 80, I used 80 grit, 120 grit, and then 320 grit, and everything is nice and smooth. You can't feel the edge or nothing, so it's fine the way that it is. And everything turned out just fine. All the holes were filled successfully, and this corner turned out great. It's nice and flat. You can't feel any. It looks like there's a channel here, but there's not. It's completely flat. It's optical illusion here because it's flat as hell right there. So this corner turned out perfect. It's nice and square, and should last a good long while with no issues. So one side's done. I'm gonna flip it over and sand the other side. Wipe it all down like this to get all of the debris off, and then I'll do the front. Sand it down, clean it up, and then I'll paint the entire cabinet. So here we go. And the other side's now done. Kind of upside down here, sorry. But this corner turned out perfectly. I was able to round it off, and it's nice and flat, and once it's painted you'll never know. Everything else was filled in just fine. Right here turned out good. These holes up here. Everything turned out perfect, so it's nice and flat. I mean, it looked like it, but it's 100% flat. Normally I would take the time to grind off all of this paint and take everything down to the bare wood, but it's really not necessary, because once you paint over this, put the art on it, you'll never know because it's flat. So next on the agenda is to flip it over onto the back, do the coin doors, get everything wiped down one last time, and I'll give it a good paint job, and that'll end this part. So one moment.
Hear the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
Alright, so the front's done now too. Now, I mentioned before this crack is actually just superficial. It doesn't actually go through the wood on either end. It's just kind of it got bumped in the very face of this crack, but it's not actually cracked through the wood. So I was able to sand it down and it actually is smooth, so that's fine, good to go on that. And as far as the paint, here's what I use. It's a Krylon Color Max Gloss Black, so I'm going to be using this to roll. I'm going to rolling it on the entire cabinet. I'm not going to shoot it or spray it. It needs to be rolled on, so that's what I'm going to use for the paint. So sit back and relax and I'll paint this cabinet and that'll end this video. So let's see how it turns out.
But I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way, yeah. When it hurts like this. If I gave you a week, would you keep it in a bottle, lie in bed and pour a drink of me? And let your friends think you're developing a problem, but we're happier than it could be. And if there wasn't always something dragging us down, like everyone around us saying we're just messing around. Well, maybe I can love you, babe, but maybe I'm too afraid of getting less than I gave. I'm not that brave.
we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out. Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out. Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out.
Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh, I can't live without you. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh, I can't breathe without your love. Your love.
And that's it. Cabinet work is done. Except for the monitor shelf, which will be later. But you can see this side turned out gloriously. I'm happy with this. Corners, sides, everything is perfect. The front turned out real nice as well. You can see how that looks. And the other side here. It's difficult to... Let me turn it around here real quick. Probably just easier to do it that way. All right. And there you go. So I'm happy with how this turned out. And now that's the end of part 2 here. And part 3, I'll get the monitor shelf done and all the interior stuff worked on and wiring and everything finished up. So stay tuned for part 3.